Hello, I wanted to talk a little bit today about my reflective activity. What I did was I chose number two, which is a study group with a group of teachers. And I chose my intervention teachers. We have five total at Cedar Ridge Elementary. And what we've really been working on this year is word work during the Guided Reading Plus lesson. Because I feel like the teachers, my interventionists, were more at the level one, some of the actions. So their actions were just, I could observe that they were just teaching words from the book. It was an activity versus teaching that strategic process of how to solve words, and they were haphazard. So when we got to talking about it, I thought, okay, I'm going to start here and then try to move them up to that level two, that conceptual level. So I started a presentation based on some of Dr. Dorn's work and met with them 3 times total. And it was very helpful because the first one, what we really worked on was just that theory. So I borrowed this right here from Adria Klein and a word from our sponsor, which is the theory, because I wanted them to see that the bullseye is that theory and research, what we really need to drive our instruction from. Then the pedagogy and professional development comes next. What we always want to start with first are the what and the materials, the resources, which really what we need to do is make sure that we have that theory underground first. So going back up to my quote up here from York Barr, being grounded in purpose, you must be grounded in the why to reach results that matter. So I felt like we were doing a pretty good job, but we could really kind of just strengthen that. So I did a word study presentation. And in that word study presentation, we talked about the different parts. So we started with the fluent writing. What is the importance of the fluent writing within that Guided Reading Plus program? And how do we choose those words? Then we went to, okay, what if our kids are still struggling with phonological awareness? And I took them through the book, Interventions at Work. Then we went on to the phonics and just trying to see how, get them to have kids look at how words work and how they learn words, and talking about their instructional language. So making sure that that's also theory-based. Then we went on a little bit more for the word study and talked about visual processing and just fast and fluent word solving. Then we went and talked about how we need to go from simple to complex and how you really need to know your kids in order to choose what words to work on. And we also talked about looking at their writing. So after we've done that, we also decided that the teachers were still a little bit confused. So we started to use the word pattern survey to get some data in order to guide our instruction. So we did the word pattern survey. Then we really talked about teaching for transfer within our rooms and within the regular classroom and looking at that continuum. So when we came back the third time, I felt like the teachers were talking a little bit more about just that theoretical level, the theories behind the teacher's behavior. So I felt they were going more towards that bullseye right here. So they were really working on looking at, okay, this is what the students can do. I'm going to build upon that. This is where they're lacking a little bit. Or I know that this partially known word they're writing will, W-I-L. So I'm going to try to work on that with fluent writing to get them to spell it with 2 L's and really kind of get that down pat. I don't feel like we ever moved to the level 3, the ethical. I really hope we can get there because I think that's what's going to be helpful for when my interventionists talk to the teachers in the building and really have those conversations. We're still working, but I think we'll get there soon and be able to share our knowledge and really at that ethical and moral level and not let anything kind of come in and those weeds kind of come up. So I felt like overall it was successful, and we've even set goals for next year. So our goal next year is also to continue with the word pattern survey, but then also to do the preparing for the phases for Guided Reading Plus and really focus on vocabulary. So within that vocabulary, we can also talk about the morphology of words so that we can really look at different parts of words and how you solve words. So I'm thinking that that'll be helpful for my interventionists, and I'm hoping that it spreads. Another thing that we've made a goal on for next year is to have that traveling response log, so that whether it's in the Powerful Language tab or whether it's in the My Thinking tab, the classroom teachers and the interventionists will know what words to hold kids accountable for. They'll know their responses. So I think that that'll kind of get us up to this level 3 as well. And I think I'll always go back to just being grounded in that purpose. You must be grounded in the why to reach results that matter. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them.